Hello guys, Steve here, NRC. This is gonna be my frog build, so stay tuned. There she is. Let's build it. Alright guys, I almost finished step 3. I just did the steering, and I want to show you guys what I use. I use this finish line dry lube when I have to put grease, like when they show it on here, when it's outside exposed to dirt. It dries like to a waxy film. You could see it on these here. I did them, and it doesn't attract dirt, so that's a tip. Now I'm going to get on to finish them. Alright guys, I'm up to the gearbox, and on my Monster Beetle I put a Traxxas 1985 shim on the top of this bevel gear there, but it kind of spread the gearbox apart a little bit and you had to tighten it down, and I put a lot of grease on it. It's probably good for the Monster Beetle with the big tires. It puts a lot of pressure, but I was looking through my box here. I can't find anything the size of that Traxxas. I got all different shims. I got everything, but nothing in here. Nothing is the size of this that fits on the shaft here. So this is, you could see the thickness of it. I forgot how many millimeter it is. Maybe 1, I'm not sure. Anyhow, for this build, because it has the little tires on the buggy, I'm just going to sand this down a little bit on a piece of sandpaper and make it a little thinner so it don't bind as much, but it'll still protect that gears, the bevels, from stripping. So that's what I'm going to do when I put mine together here. We'll see how it works. Alright guys, I used sandpaper and I went around like this with the Traxxas washer. And I sanded a lot of my finger too, but I sanded it thinner, and here's a stock one. Let's see how wide this one is. 5.53 millimeter. Check that again. 0.54. It's like 0.543. Now here's the one I sanded down. Let's see what I did here. 0.27, 0.27, 0.27. So that's good. It's a little thinner than half. It's actually a little bit thicker than half, rather. So I'm going to put that on top here. This is what I did in my Monster Beetle, but I used the full thickness Traxxas 1985 washer. I'm going to put this right on top of there when I assemble it. Just like that. And that'll make the diff together more sandwich tight so the bevel gears don't strip or pop. So that's how I'm going to do it. We'll see how it goes. Just a tip for you guys, if you're going to go ahead and use one of these little spacers on the bevel gear, before you put it on, dab some of this anti-wear grease around the lip and then stick it on. It'll hold it in place. Now I gotta assemble this. Another tip for you guys, when you're putting together the gearbox or the shim, use this one here on the left side like you're supposed to. That way it'll hold that shim and it won't be able to fall out. Alright, I have it all together. Like I said, put this one side in there when you assemble it. You could also put the other one in. I just put it together, it's all done. You can see, nice and smooth. The diff's working. You hear that's the anti-wear grease I put in it. It's real stiff. That'll wear off a little bit. But there she is. Time to assemble it on the chassis. Alright guys, I got the whole rear end on. Everything. Now remember that side we put the shim on? If you feel that it's too tight and you push up and down, you could take out one of them O-rings they tell you to put in there and cut a piece of silicone fuel line a hair thinner so it'll go up and down easy. I sanded that washer so mine feels a little tight, but so does the other side. That's how they work. Them washers they give you in there, they're rubber, they'll flatten out after a while anyway. So if you use the thicker washer and you don't sand as much as me off, you may want to use the silicone hose. That's what I did in my Monster Beetle. Another tip I do, I use fishing line and I go around these boots and I tie a knot around them, a loop, so they hold on so they don't slip around. Alright, on to the next step. Alright guys, I'm back. Finished the shocks. As I suspected, Tamiya always makes them too thick and creamy. Look at how slow that comes down. So I'm going to run it like that. I'm probably going to switch it out to 10 weight and see how that works later on. But it feels too thick for me. On to the next step, the motor. Okay guys, I want to show you something weird. I left out this fiberglass piece here that supports the front so it gets stronger in the front, and I was gonna put it in later on because it's weird. I got to step 26 where they show it when you put this cover on here, and the reason I didn't want to put this in yet from this step here, because when you put it in, it's weird. There's like, it looks like there should be a washer under here, because it, like, when it presses down it bends the front, like puts a lot of pressure on it, and they don't show nothing there, and at the end they don't show nothing. They just show you putting this piece on just like this, and you could see it's off, and then when you screw this down, it's gonna, I don't know how it's gonna do it. It's gonna pressurize and bend that fiberglass. I don't know, it's kind of weird to me, this step. I don't see anything I'm doing wrong, so if anyone knows anything, let me know, but I don't see nothing about a washer or anything, so I'm just gonna put it in the way they show it. Alright guys, I finished step 21. Next will be the tires. But everything's in here. I had to switch out the way the receiver was in because this rod here was hitting. So I switched that. And the reason why I put my electronics way down there and this here instead of in the front, because every time I watched frog videos, when they jump they always nosedive. So I switched mine like that. Hopefully it'll leave the front lighter. It's on right now. Real smooth steering. And now throttle, really smooth. So there you have it. Next the tires and the body, and we'll finish her up. Alright, there's the wheels. I painted them green. I don't know what I'm going to do with the body. It's going to be a weird one, that's for sure.